off the U.S. coast. A fun board holding rescue teams back at first, but tonight they have rescued 3 more people alive, a 4th still inside. We'll go live to the scene. The humanitarian crisis in the Bahamas, the desperation, and tonight what President Trump has said about people in the Bahamas who want to come to the U.S. The outrage over planned secret talks with the Taliban at Camp David, revealed by President Trump. Those talks called off before they could happen. Why was the Taliban coming to the U.S. days before 9/11? Tonight, the ABC News exclusive, the hunt for ISIS fighters. We take you deep inside Iraq tonight after the president celebrated the defeat of ISIS, their territory taken back. Where are they now? Tonight, we're with U.S. forces as they hunt for ISIS in the caves, the mountains, the villages of Iraq. And we take you inside the refugee camp in Syria, where ISIS fighters are living. The children dancing around the ISIS flag. Here at home tonight, the major fire at an historic synagogue wasn't arson, what authorities just revealed. The American city, a portion of it on lockdown for hours. The suspicious van loaded with 1,000 gallons of gasoline. The Tesla driver appearing to be asleep at the wheel at 60 miles an hour on the highway. And the famous face in the big return tonight, and not a moment too soon.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to start another week with all of you at home. And we do begin tonight with that daring rescue of 4 sailors trapped inside a massive cargo ship that went aground off the U.S. coast. The ship toppling onto its side off the coast of Georgia, catching fire. They had rescued 20 before, but were turned back because of fire. The 4 sailors were feared lost, and then today sounds heard inside, and a response team drops in by helicopter, cutting through the hole and finding the men alive. Throughout the day, the struggle to get them out tonight. All 4 are now out. They are okay. ABC's Kaylee Hartung on the scene in Georgia.
Tonight, the desperate rescues at sea. Emergency response teams on the hull of that massive overturned ship. One of the crew members on a stretcher lowered to safety. Another seen smiling after a grueling 30 hours trapped inside horrifying conditions.
I know it's a lot hotter in that ship than it was for us on the outside, and I'm sure on the outside it was probably pushing 120 or more.
Rescuers locating the men after hearing them tap on the ship. The last of the 4 crew members trapped in the control room, extracted just moments ago.
When I heard the news this morning that we had tapbacks throughout the night, I think that really motivated the team here.
The first emergency calls coming at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning.
The cargo ship just flipped over in the channel. You need to call Coast Guard.
Shortly after leaving port off the coast of Georgia, the massive cargo ship carrying more than 4,000 cars made a turn and toppled over.
All vessels are requested to keep a sharp lookout. It's just impossible.
The Coast Guard pulling 20 of the crew to safety in the dark of night. But fires inside the ship made it impossible to get at the remaining men. Tonight, the 650-foot ship remains capsized, shutting down a busy waterway.
The longer this ship stays out here, the greater the environmental concern. We're a half-mile from it. On the trip out here, we were driving through pools of oil, and you can smell it.
Experts say it could take weeks or even months to turn over the ship and remove it.
Kaylee's with us live tonight from the site of that ship. Kaylee, we can see the ship there behind you, and we know some eyewitnesses saying the ship appeared to be listing when it actually left port.
Yeah, that's right, David. This ship had just dropped off half of its automobile cargo in this busy port. It's unclear, though, if the ship overturned or caught fire first. Now that the crew is all safely off the ship, investigators will turn their attention to figuring out what went wrong. David.
Kaylee Hartung leading us off tonight. Kaylee, thank you. And of course, we cannot forget the growing humanitarian crisis in the Bahamas tonight, the desperation and the new images coming in, and what President Trump has said about people in the Bahamas who want to get to the U.S. No end to the devastation from Hurricane Dorian, people who have lost everything, desperate to get to safety. ABC's Marcus Moore tonight in the Bahamas, again for us.
Tonight in the Bahamas, first responders with the grim task of recovering the dead. As aid arrives, survivors telling us they want to see promises kept.
But let me tell you what I could appreciate is the action be taking place and no broken promises this time. We tired of broken promises, man.
Many rushing to leave the Abaco Islands.
And this morning here in Marsh Harbor, they are still loading cars and people onto this ferry that's headed to Nassau. It's part of the massive effort to evacuate people from this island left devastated by Hurricane Dorian.
This after more than 100 evacuees were kicked off a different ferry in Freeport, captured here by WSVN.
When you come into the USA, you will have trouble.
Passengers without a visa told to disembark It's unclear why that announcement was made. President Trump weighing in on survivors trying to leave.
I don't want to allow people that weren't supposed to be in the Bahamas to come into the United States, including some very bad people and some very bad gang members and some very, very bad drug dealers.
Back on the Abaco Islands, many still trying to figure out what to do next. Their families separated during and after the storm.
I don't see my mom. I don't see my son. I don't know.
The power grid here in Marsh Harbor was destroyed and will have to be completely rebuilt. And at the same time, the health minister here says that they are working to account for every single person who's missing. But it is possible that some victims were washed out to sea and may never be found. David.
All right, Marcus Moore with us again tonight. Marcus, thank you. We turn next to the wildfire emergency in Northern California tonight. We're watching the dry conditions and erratic winds fueling the Walker Fire. It's in the Plumas National Forest. Roads are closed and several communities are under mandatory evacuations. The fire breaking out Friday and tonight has now grown to nearly 44,000 acres. More than 800 firefighters are battling the flames. We turn next tonight to outrage over President Trump's reveal in a tweet of a secret meeting that was planned with the Taliban at Camp David. The meeting was canceled before it could take place, but critics want to know why it was planned so close to 9/11 and at Camp David at all. The president tonight now says negotiations with the Taliban are dead. And as we reported from Afghanistan this year, the U.S. has been negotiating with the Taliban for a peace agreement in Afghanistan to bring U.S. troops home. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
President Trump today declared talks with the Taliban to end the war in Afghanistan aren't just postponed, they're dead.
They're dead. They're dead. As far as I'm concerned, they're dead.
Over the weekend, the president revealed he had secretly invited Taliban leaders to Camp David on Sunday to ink a peace deal. He says he abruptly pulled the plug on that after a car bomb attack killed an American soldier in Afghanistan.
They thought that they had to kill people in order to put themselves in a little better negotiating position.
But the idea of inviting the Taliban, the radical Islamic movement that gave safe haven to Osama bin Laden, to Camp David just days before the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks was highly controversial. As Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney put it, no member of the Taliban should set foot there, ever. Today, President Trump defended his decision.
Camp David's held meetings with a lot of people that would have been perceived as being pretty tough customers and pretty bad people.
For almost a decade, Donald Trump has called for an end to the Afghan war.
Let's get with it. Get out of Afghanistan.
But now, as talks break down, there are 14,000 American troops in Afghanistan, considerably more than when Donald Trump was elected president.
And John Karl with us live tonight in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where the president is holding a campaign rally tonight. And John, there's concern that pulling out of Afghanistan without a deal with the Taliban could create another vacuum for terrorists like the ones, of course, who plotted 9/11 there. But is the president considering withdrawing U.S. troops without a deal with the Taliban?
Officials say he could decide to do that, David, but Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has set two conditions for withdrawal. First, a reduction in violence over there, and also ensuring that Afghanistan could never again be used to stage a terrorist attack on the United States. And it is unclear how you achieve those two aims without some sort of peace agreement, David.
John Karl with us live from North Carolina. John, thank you. We turn next tonight to an ABC News exclusive, the hunt for ISIS fighters. Tonight we take you deep inside Iraq after the president celebrated the defeat of ISIS, their territory taken back, where they are now. Tonight we're with U.S. forces as they hunt for ISIS. And this evening, our exclusive access inside Syria, the refugee camp, where the children are dancing around the ISIS flag, and the prison where ISIS fighters are determined to fight again. After dark in Baghdad, we board a Black Hawk. U.S. forces giving us exclusive access to an assault underway right now as the U.S. and Iraqis hunt down ISIS fighters. We are flying out over Baghdad right now after nightfall, all part of an operation to capture ISIS fighters. Intelligence shared between the Americans here on the ground and the Iraqi fighters. We're going to be landing between Fallujah and Ramadi. This operation now underway. They take us west of Baghdad to a base where they hunt them down from above first. 24 hours a day, surveillance in the sky, looking for ISIS fighters now hiding in the desert, the mountains, the caves of Iraq. And in the villages, ISIS fighters trying to blend into the population. You find yourself back in Anbar province to catch ISIS fighters.
Yeah, we sure do.
Did you ever think that would happen?
I did not. So it's a very surreal experience to be back here in Anbar 14 years later from doing offensive operations out here against Al-Qaeda in Iraq.
We drive to the command center, where we learn there has just been a strike on ISIS fighters. Has it been lucrative?
It's been successful.
Hidden in the desert is their operations center. They take us past the concrete barriers, where we find U.S. troops and their eyes trained on ISIS.
So welcome to Anbar and Task Force Spartan. This is our Combat Operations Center.
Where they reveal to us the ISIS fighters they have just targeted. You were telling me you've already seen enemy movement.
We have.
And tonight, ABC News obtaining these images of that strike. They tell us 2 ISIS fighters were spotted where they were sleeping, not far from where they were keeping their weapons. This is where they retreated to.
We found them because they got up and moved. They went over to another location to pull some weapons out. When they went back into their bed down location, then we were able to go ahead and conduct a strike on them.
This strike just days before on an ISIS tunnel in Mosul, that city controlled by ISIS not so long ago. And this strike on another ISIS hideout north of Baghdad, where they were sleeping at night.
The best way to describe them would be sleeper cells because they're there intentionally trying not to draw attention, live another day to fight.
But you're fairly convinced you've got 2 ISIS fighters?
If I was a betting man, I'd put money on it.
At sunrise, we are taken to a remote area not far from the command center, where we are told helicopters will soon drop off Iraqi commandos being trained by U.S. forces. They land, American troops vanishing in the desert sand. These U.S. forces are shadow-like, watching the Iraqis as they drill. They storm this small space, not unlike the caves, the corners they'll soon be sent into to flush out ISIS. These Iraqi commandos will be the front line against ISIS here.
The fact that they're able to do this on their own speaks a lot to their capabilities.
In the middle of the desert, we are shown the unmanned drones. They are guarded, fueled, and ready for flight. In the skies over Iraq, 8 hours at a time. This is where they're actually operating the drones that are doing surveillance right now over the Iraqi desert, the mountains and the caves where they believe these ISIS fighters are still hiding. You can see this private first class is looking at some terrain right now. We are allowed inside, a rare view of what it is they see, the kind of terrain they're scouring. And we are about to see for ourselves what's playing out right now, deep in the Anbar Desert, where ISIS fighters cross over the Syrian border into Iraq.
As you can see, we are back up in the air again, flying over the Iraqi desert. We are headed west of Ramadi, deep out into the Anbar Desert to find the command center for this operation underway right now to capture ISIS fighters.
Our flight over the desert in 115-degree heat. We hear the pilots pointing out every lone vehicle, every lone person they see on the horizon. They are ready. And then we see it. The small command post, just 50 miles from the Syrian border.
So we are very far western edge of the Anbar Desert.
This remote post in the outer reaches of the desert. I took note that while we were flying out here, you could hear the pilots talking about vehicles off in the distance.
Right.
Completely aware of really every isolated scene on the way out.
Yeah, it's just a reminder that this is ISIS is out there.
As we arrive, we learn an ISIS fighter has blown himself up, killing another ISIS fighter in the process. The Iraqis then moving in, capturing 5 more ISIS fighters at that location. We have blurred the Iraqi translator for his safety. This is where the operation is underway right now, deep in the Anbar Desert, about 50 to 60 miles from the Syrian border. You can see the Iraqi troops behind me and the tribal militia setting up this defensive perimeter. They are here to find these ISIS fighters. They've captured another 7 of them, captured and killed here in the search for these fighters. The new reality, this is where the ISIS fighters are hiding. The Iraqi general is waiting for us. Hello. Good to see you. They take us into this small tent where the general, using his laser pointer, shows us where they're hunting. Are you confident you'll be able to get rid of ISIS in Iraq? Yes. Right across the border in Syria, ABC News has shown the other major threat. Senior U.S. military leaders telling me this refugee camp is one of their greatest concerns. Inside El Hol, tents as far as the eye can see. Children sitting in the open air. Mattresses on the back of pickups. The young refugees looking out. But what you